Hi guys, and Happy New Year. I hope that you guys had a good holiday season and that you're ready for 2022. In this video, I'm going to do a flip through of my Hobonichi Cousin that I used for a journal and memory keeper for 2021. I use the dailies as a way to mark what happened that day and do any like scrapbooking, artistic outlet type thing. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Emmylou Arts videos. I use less like collage pieces like she does. I don't use as many like magazines, but I try to use things that I get either that day or wherever I go and put them in here. So it's really thick. I didn't know if it was going to make it through this year, but Hobonichi is tried and true, and their binding must be magic or something because it is very thick. And I mean, these pages are like way out there, right? But they seem pretty well kept in there. So I'm very thankful that I was able to do this again this year. It's just a really fun thing to do for me. It's relaxing. I love using pictures to incorporate in here. So yeah, so I guess let's just get into it. So this is a Hobonichi Cousin. I get it from either Jet Pens or the Hobonichi store. My main journaling supplies that I use are washi tape, Tombow, dual brush pen markers, the Tombow Fudenosuke soft tip marker, and then I also use these Pentel brush pens a lot, especially within the last like 6 months of the year. I really loved these. They're just a little smaller than the Tombows, so you still get like that brush pen feel, but without the huge thick lines of the Tombow. So I love both of these, and I will use both of these next year too. And then I use the Uniball Jetstream in 0.5 or like 0.7. Again, this comes with the planner. This you can get off of Amazon. And yeah, obviously like scissors to cut up everything. And then my sprocket, which I really love. It, prints out pictures with no ink technology, I guess. And then they're just like stickers, so you could just stick them on there, and you'll see a lot of pictures from my sprocket in my journal. So those were just the things that I like to use throughout the year. And then little like mementos and stuff that I got from like if we went to a restaurant or a ticket or something, I would, save that ticket from like a concert or maybe a little takeout menu from the restaurant or something like that. So anyways, let's get into it. So I decorated my front cover last year, which I liked, but I didn't really see it a lot, so I won't do that this year. And then I don't use any of these really front pages at all. I mean, I tried, but it petered out pretty fast. Like May through the end of the year, I did not use. So I don't use the calendars much. I try to use the weeklies as like memory keeping too, which was fine, but it just got like overwhelming, so I just stopped that after a little while. I did last longer than I thought I did. I did last longer than I thought when I looked back at this. Like I thought I ended in like February, but we're in like March, April, and we're still going. But it does end, I think right in May, at the end of May. Oh, just kidding. We're still going in June. Okay, so maybe I did this for half a year. Yeah, and then see, it just kind of peters out once we get to July. And yeah, so I probably won't do this again next year. I don't really use the weekly pages in my journal, obviously. So thoughts of going to Astrology maybe for 2023, but it is literally day 2 of 2022, and I can't even start thinking about what I'm going to use next year because that's just insane. But my planner peeps, like, you get me. I know you do. You get it. Anyways, I like to do a vision board for the year. I did not do one for this year yet. Don't know if I will, but I do like just having this in here. I just think it's really cool. I just find pictures from Pinterest or online, and then also incorporate some like photos that I have on my camera roll. And then here is my first page from last year. All right, so on my like month view page, I guess, that very first page before like the daily start for each month, I just put like my goals, but I never reference this, so I'm definitely not doing that again next year because I just put like the same thing in there and I don't reference them at all. So I'm just going to put that stuff in my planner rather than in my journal, and maybe use this as like my top memories or just extra pictures that I, didn't incorporate in my dailies, and I'd put them here. But anyways, that's for 2022, not what I did for 2021. So I'm just going to flip through and kind of talk intermittently, I guess, about a page if it held some significance. But if not, just enjoy some of my pages. I could not get enough of the Bernie Sanders in the chair at the inauguration last year. I even made a sticker of it that I sell in my Etsy shop. It just made me crack up so much. And I love the peanuts, so I printed out a picture of that too and put it in there. But just like all of the places that he's incorporated, I thought it was hilarious. Hilarious. Especially this one, Pop 6 Squish Healthcare Cicero Lipschitz from Chicago. Had me rolling. So then here's February, my sister and I's birthday month. And really what I put in here is like either something that like we did that day, like I made feta pasta from like TikTok. And so I just put some pictures of it in there and like recorded the recipe and how I liked it and stuff. Or sometimes I doodle and draw. Like me and my sisters really like drinking Justin wine. It's really good. So I drew some wine glasses and then just kind of wrote about that day. So yeah. In service day, nothing super crazy, but just put the little schedule on like kind of what we did. I use a lot of like tip-ins. So this was a little Valentine that I got from my nephew, which is adorable. Another little Valentine I got from students, right? A little note. They were actually graduated and they came back and visited, which was super sweet. Sometimes I just like to like art journal and watercolor some roses in here, especially if like I didn't know what to journal for this day. Like say it was just kind of a day that nothing really happened. I'll just art journal in there like that. Or productive days. More stickers, more tip-ins. More tip-ins. This was like the year of tip-ins for me. I used them a lot. So then here's March. So yeah, I usually border the page with some washi tape, use the Tombow or the Pentel markers to do like the headings, and then I'll either put, these are from this ghost coffee place that I went with a friend. I took that and just glued these in here, or I'll just stick in some sprocket pictures. Pictures are really like I feel like journaling, like love language, because I love taking pictures. And so I just really incorporate them in everything that I journal about. I don't know if I'll use washi tape this next coming year because it did take like a long time, and I want my journal next year to be a little bit more travel friendly. So I ended up pre-stickering my 2022 journal with the Antiquarian sticker book, so that's already done. And maybe it won't be as bulky, I don't know, but the tip-ins really make this planner bulky, which is fine. I don't mind the chunk at all. But just trying, some things new next year. I just love the idea that I can go back and see pictures from this time and like what I, got from students, like these adorable notes I love. And I know that this is what is making the planner thick. I mean, it just, this card is like huge, but it's a super cute card I got from the students that I coach for track. And I, want to remember that. And I know I'm going to keep this for a really long time and reference this and look at this more than I would like a box, And 4 tip-ins. Okay. Went to Napa this year. That was so much fun. Highly recommend. So for tip-ins, what I do is I just put tape on one side of whatever side you want to put in your planner, and then you stick it in there like that, and then you can flip it over and then put tape on this side too, just to really secure it, and you have a little fold out here. Sometimes I put them on the side, in like the binding, or on the top, even the bottom. I do them really anywhere. Most common though is like on the side so that they like flip out. See, like this one here, just flipping out. Planner chaos, because I have no idea even to today what I'm going to use for my everyday carry, whether it's going to be a Weeks or a Cousin. Oh, my beautiful sister and handsome brother-in-law. This one is tip-in heavy. So we have bottom tip-ins here, bottom ones. We have side ones, a top one. But this is where I just bought a lot of planner things, and the packaging was so pretty that I didn't want to get rid of it. So I just put it in my journal. That one was a hard one to tip in. A weird shaped football. Well, a normal shaped football, but a weird shape to tip into something. Paper Bits Co. Love her stickers, especially for planning. And sometimes I didn't use washi tape. This is kind of rare where I don't have washi tape on a 2-page spread, and where I also don't have any sprocket pictures, where I just spent time doodling and lettering and stuff and just writing about what I was watching. Gilmore Girls obviously here. And yeah, and I like this too. It's just kind of, it's cool that you can use this book for however you want, and like go different paths throughout the year. Like not using washi tape, not using pictures, just markers, or using washi tape and a ton of pictures, using both lines in the Hobonichi because they are really thin, that sometimes I'm like, well, I don't have a lot to write. So I'm just going to make my writing bigger instead of smaller here, you know? So it's just cool that you can really customize it to however you want. And some months I did pre-washi, so that took up less time. I mean, in the front end, it took a lot of time because you were washing every single page. But then when you journaled, that was one step that was already done, which was nice. Lots of tip-ins here. What's nice too is you can add these tip-ins and then even still write about like what you're tipping in. Like, so here it's, again, student notes that I got, which were super sweet. Coffee Monster Co. is another shop that I've been really loving for planner stickers. No pictures on this spread. Again, no pictures here either. It's kind of shocking me. Oh, it goes through. And sometimes I use like 2 pages for one like event. Like my grandma turned 90. We had a little open house for her where she is living. And so I just used 1 page for all of the pictures because like that's important to me, that I can look back and see these pictures. But then I also wrote about, you know, my grandma and my relationship with her and kind of how that day went and just how much I love her and stuff like that. So using 2 pages instead of like just cramming it all on one with littler pictures again, is an awesome way just to be able to customize your own journal how you want to. Again, another one where I did a two spreads for one event. Did the same thing with Christmas. Made it into 2 events or 2 spreads just because I loved all the pictures that we took. And that is it. That is all she wrote. I love using the Hobonichi. I love the paper of the Hobonichi. I love how thin originally the Hobonichi is. And then that it really holds up to chunking it up. Like, this is as chunky as I've ever gotten a Hobonichi. I mean, this is only my 2nd year doing it. My last year one was still chunky, but it did not like protrude out this much at all, which is fine. Like I said, I really don't mind because I do feel like it's pretty strong. I just had to reinforce this binding a little bit just because like this part here was coming off. But I loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little flip through. I hope you guys maybe got some inspiration for your own journaling. Let me know how you journal and how it's different. Give me ideas because I'm always up for new ideas for journaling. And I can't wait to share more of my journal and planning processes with you guys in 2022. I hope you guys have a great day and a great week. Bye.